to get into DK Metcalf's crash out. DK Metcalf, for those who have lived under a rock for the last week, DK Metcalf did the unthinkable. He went over to a fan and decided to take matters into his own hand. According to Ocho Cinco on his show with Uncle Shay Shay, whatever they call it, Nightcap, DK Metcalf accused the fan of calling him an N-word, calling his mother the C-word, and he took matters to his own hand, grabbed the fan by the shirt. The fan was wearing a blue wig, and so the optics of it, because you would think, man, how could you even take someone serious as wearing a blue wig? And so that same night, Chad Ochocinco, according to Chad Ochocinco, got word from DK Metcalf that indeed this is what was said to him. The fan who they located said the only thing that he called him by was his legal name. And while it's an interesting legal name, while he might not like to go by his legal name, I don't think anyone would suggest that if that's the case, it would warrant that response. The NFL has suspended DK Metcalf for the last 2 regular season games, which DK Metcalf and the NFL Players Association did try to appeal that suspension. That appeal was not in their favor. Did not come.
We're not even. They are not.
So DK Metcalf crash out. You see DK Metcalf go grab a fan in the stands, throw a punch. And you think what?
The first thing I'll say that I have a problem with that. If let's go back to our NBA comparison. When you're in the NBA, the fans can touch you. I mean, right. The fans are right there. Sometimes they got to move their feet so that you can throw the ball in bounds. So when somebody gives you some abuse at that, I have a little bit more of a understanding as like, it's like the difference between me yelling at you from across the street and me getting in your face. Like personal space and proximity have a lot to do with what's going on. DJ Metcalf had to walk so far over there. You can't see anybody else on the team in the frame when they're showing the picture because he's far. So you argue, like, how are you paying attention to what's going on?
That's how do you even know he says it?
Huh?
Yeah, like how do you even know that fan has said that? Why are you even thinking?
What were you doing if he got your attention, man? People, you see people screaming for give somebody an autograph when they're walking out of a tunnel and they act like they don't hear. If you don't have thicker skin than that. So, but 2, DK, I mean, I got to be honest, you're not playing well enough to lose your temper, right? Yep. I mean, at the end of the year, you're the 4th highest paid player in the NBA.
Going into the season, he's the 4th highest paid wide receiver. And so he has a contract of 4 years, $132 million, meaning on average, he's making $33 million a year, which makes him the 4th highest paid wide receiver, only behind Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb. The 4th one in terms of average dollars per year is our own DK Metcalf, Mr. Crash Out.
So for me, when you got to have that kind of stuff on your mind, man, like I know you may be frustrated because you don't think you're going to play, but like at the end of the day, you're walking over there and you're giving this dude what he wants, right? Because you got to be honest. Anyone who's heckling, that guy, did you see how excited he was when DJ swung on him? He put his hands in the air to the crowd like, I did it. Supposedly, I heard history that this guy's been harassing him since Seattle. And this dude
same guy?
Yeah, same guy.
The same guy made a public statement that he didn't say any derogatory
Of course he didn't. Of course not.
Things, but he made the statement through his attorney, of course. So you can imagine what's coming next.
Lawyered up, baby. That dude was like, I did it. I
finally got him to crash out.
He should have been like Logan or like Jake Paul and let him break the jaw. You flinched. You really missed out. You had to pay a bigger. Since that's what you're going for, it was a much bigger payday.
Right.
If you would have got stolen, let him steal on you, and then fall onto the field.
He's gonna at least claim assault though. Like
fall onto the field, flip over, and let D-Bay give you another one because that's big money right now. The NFL is going to pay you.
He didn't get touched. Battery is when you actually get touched. Assault is the fear.
That was attempted battery. I thought he was holding
He'll
on
get
to his leg.
assault. There was some sort of civil assault charge.
It's
the threat,
fine. I mean,
the imminent threat that the fan was under is going to be the legal theory in which that attorney tries to get some of that $33 million per year. I don't know what mathematical equation that said fan is going to use, but he's going to try to get a percentage of that $33 million a year.
Get a piece.
Him
and your agent going to buy the same Christmas gifts for their wife.
So that's speculative, but what we can say without a doubt is that by being suspended for those 2 games, DK Metcalf essentially has foregone $555,556 down to the dollar itself. That's what DK Metcalf has surrendered to the powers that be. It's just out in the planet nowhere by throwing that punch and being suspended for the last 2 regular games. I don't know a punch that's worth $555,556. I am going to go out on a limb and say, I ain't going to say it. I don't want to invite anybody to ever call me the N-word, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that people are willing to be called a lot of things for $555,556.
I'm gonna say you could, if you would like me that, you call me the N-word if you want to. You could. I'll probably let you call my mama the N-word. I don't know. We had to see it. We had to try it out. You might be able to get away with that. You know what I'm saying? For those type of dollars, do you know how hard I had to work for that kind of money? You know how much time passes between my checks? Before I get paid like that.
You mentioned DK's performance, his output or lack thereof. So far, DJ, I keep messing it up, and I don't. Please punch me for messing your name up. But DK Metcalf has 59 receptions, which makes him the 43rd best receiver in the league as of today. That number is going to go down because he's not going to have any more receptions in the regular season.
So
he's got 8.
Let's put that into perspective. That means everybody has at least one, and some teams have 2 receivers that are doing better than him. But go ahead.
Yep. And if you break it down per number, when it comes to what he's getting paid, that's close to $600,000 per catch based on his output and what he's getting paid.
Then he went out right after swinging on dude and dropped a couple balls. But go ahead.
DK Metcalf this year is 850 yards, which puts him at the number 23 spot, only 150 yards short of 1,000. He would have probably got to that, maybe got to that by the end of the year. Won't get to 1,000 yards. From a yards perspective, that means he is making $38,000 per yard that he has garnered. And DK Metcalf has 6 TDs, right, which makes him the 21st highest receiver in the NFL with 6 TDs. He's tied. And that means he was making $5.5 million per touchdown based on those numbers. Having said that, I give it to you. Final word, DK Metcalf. What say you?
I mean, donkey of the day comes to mind. Can we use that, or do we have to footnote the?
We got a footnote where it came from.
Okay.
Give credit to those who come up with the term.
Yeah, Charlemagne. Charlemagne. We had to borrow, but sometimes when you get it right, people borrow. Donkey of the day. But when you start thinking about now that there's an opportunity to get out of the contract, which they're most definitely going to do, they want it out anyway, right?
Yeah, and the reason you say that, for those who aren't aware, there's a clause in DK Metcalf's contract that's paying him all his money. They essentially, and the league suspended him for 2 games for conduct detrimental to the league. That's a catch-all phrase, conduct detrimental. That is a catch-all phrase that means nothing but means everything. And so because he was suspended for conduct detrimental to the league, it now puts in question a clause that is in his contract with the Pittsburgh Steelers that essentially says if he is unable to practice for any reason, the team can void his salary and guarantees for the following 2 seasons, which means that 4-year, $132 million contract could be in jeopardy.
Could be, will be.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. And shout out to Mike Tomlin, because Mike Tomlin, with that win, despite the distraction of DK Metcalf punching in the air at some random fan in the stands, has now secured the 19th. He has made it certain that this is the 19th year where has a non-losing season. All of them have been winning, but he had 8-8. He had 8-8 seasons before we went to 17 games. Shout out to Mike Tomlin. Who also
but that's another thing, the timing of it. Your team is fighting to make the playoffs. It's trying to do something, whatever. You're worried about somebody who's so far from the bench that no other players were in the picture of the video. No one can see them. That's what you're worried about. And then you coming on the field and not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're done.
Here's where I want to humanize it, because I take DK Metcalf's side a bit, that some of the production or lack thereof might have led to his frustration. We don't know what the fans said. And here's where I take issue with the NFL, is because the number one person on that list in terms of receivers and their compensation is Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase was caught spitting on another player. Mm-hmm. He literally spat on Jalen Ramsey. Lied about it afterwards and said he didn't do it. And he got a grand total of a 1-game suspension. So what the NFL is saying, either a punch is more egregious than a spit, or a fan is more valuable than his own players. And that's where I have an issue with the NFL. If Jamar Chase only gets suspended for 1 game for spitting on one of the fellow brethren, the product, the human being that the NFL depends on to continue its multi-billion-dollar conglomerate, then why is DK Metcalf suspended for 2 games for throwing a punch and missing at a fan who, while the fan looked like he had good seats and is paying a top dollar for that seat?
It looked like he walked down to me. It didn't look like he had good seats.
It was one of his seats.
It looked like he walked down to me. I didn't ever saw him sit down again.
But what is the NFL saying by those 2 different approaches to the suspensions? And that's where I have an issue with the NFL. Now, do I think DK Metcalf is still a crash out? Yes. But the NFL, in its rendering a decision, a suspension of 2 games for DK Metcalf for throwing a punch at, yet missing a fan, and rendering a suspension of 1 game after Jamar Chase got caught lying, after the video confirmed indeed that not only he spat at him, but he spat on him, and acknowledging that the other person in that exchange was indeed one of its own, a fellow NFL player, a veteran at that. So what is the NFL saying? That's my challenge with the crash out.
I'm saying, look, everything in society is us and them, right? When you crimes amongst ourselves are always going to be met with less outrage than crimes against others. And so at the end of the day, you got 2 guys on the field, 2 gladiators on the field. He lied because he tried to lie. Until you can pull the video evidence, you're going to have to lie, because everyone knows spitting is a cowardly move. So you got to at least try to say I didn't do it.
And that's also why I want the audio of this fan, because you just said it. You don't have to lie.
Yeah, we don't need audio if DJ says where the hell he's at. Jalen was talking shit. He was talking shit. He shouldn't have spit on that. Was some coward stuff. And then Jalen pushed him or hit him or whatever. But it's still 2 players and 2 guys who are part of the us, part of the group. And so he's spinning. Now, had DJ spit on that fan, and I would think there would be a 3-game suspension, a 4-game suspension. You know what I mean? Because
we acknowledge that spitting on someone is worse than throwing a punch.
But I think the victim involved is also a much bigger deal. So exaggeration for evidence. What for emphasis? Had it been a child, even worse, right? So you got some dude with blue hair.
Had it been a lady, even worse. Had it been a young girl, even worse. Right.
And then child. It gets to be worse. But you have to tell the people on the you can control. He can't control the fans. I mean, they can ban the fan flow. They didn't kick him out the game, but they can't control all the fans. There's hundreds of thousands of people that go to games across the United States and everything, whatever. But you can control your players. Don't walk your ass over there. If the fan would have got onto the field, beat his ass.
I think that's virtue signaling, though, man. The NFL, if your value proposition,
what do you think should have happened? What do you think should happen?
I think they should have been a tie. You should have got suspended for one game because you have shown us in recent weeks that a player spitting on another player is worth a 1-game suspension. If you are now telling me that because this engagement involved a fan warrants a 2-game suspension, then what you're telling me is your value proposition puts the fan over the player. And while you can replace that fan, DK Metcalf is one of the best people that you have out there helping you generate revenue.
He's only top 43.
Well, based on what the market said, the Steelers were willing to pay him like he was a top 5 receiver. And you can find another fan to fill that seat. You can't find another DK Metcalf just readily available to go fill the role. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to take a much bigger blow, 2 games versus 1 game in a time that they need them. But I think as players, when I'm looking at that, right, I'm looking at that and I'm saying, damn, I guess fans are more valuable than players.
Yes. So can Chase sue the NFL because he was, can Jalen Ramsey sue the NFL because Chase spit on him?
Probably not. Assumption of risk.
Can the fan sue the NFL because a player stole him?
He's absolutely going to sue both the puncher and the NFL.
Okay. So which is more severe to you?
If you're saying what are they more vulnerable in terms
I'm just saying, man, players fight all the time. We're a violent game. People get into scuffs all the time. Metcalf or Jalen Ramsey and Chase may be homies again after that. I know we'll have a hard time. You spit on me afterwards, and we may go, but they'll probably squash it. They're part of the same group. We're out here doing the same thing, running their mouth. We're in proximity with no security guards around each other because we're on the same shield. They're not going to get sued for that. People are going to say, man, you should have did that, Jamar. That's terrible. That's disgusting. Mike Tomlin. The fact that he even got a 1-game suspension lets you know they think it's really serious because you see people smack somebody on the field all the time. They don't get suspended for that.
Yeah, I think the 1-game suspension was more for the lie than it was the spit. But I'll say this. Mike Tomlin, at the end of that, they asked him, and he said certain things on site. If you spit on me, on site.
Do it comes natural.
Now, do it comes naturally. And so the fact that both of these instances include the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think allows us to have the discussion. But truth be told, if the audio comes out and this man indeed called him the N-word, and this man indeed called his mother the C-word, in addition to calling him by his government name, right? But if an audio comes out that confirms that, I would argue that it's on site too. I'm not gonna let you just call me the N-word. I'm not going to allow you to refer, especially my dead mother. You're not referring to my mother as a C-word.
Why were you over there?
If the fan injected himself into the field of play, he was hanging over the rail, he might have, I don't know, I don't think the audio has to confirm or not. He might have said some things that injected himself into an engagement with DK Metcalf.
Do you think that happened?
I don't know. I'm not going to say one way or the other. I mean, we're basically like, who's telling the truth? I don't know.
Okay. I don't doubt that the fan could have said that, but I think he didn't say it till DJ was over there. So my point is,
calling that man DJ. He going to come on here. Man, it's DJ.
I'm trying to get smacked. That's all I'm trying to do. I don't know what you said. It's the end of the year. My W-2 ain't quite what it was supposed to hit on. I'm trying to get smacked. I want smoke. I want problems. All right, I want him to smack me.
So I'm gonna call him DJ. How about that?
What's your government name? What's DJ is your government name? If you smack me for that, cool. And I'm not moving out the way. I'm going full Jake Paul. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna say, wow, when I hit the ground. I need some bread, man. So any y'all want to smack me, the going rate's about 500,000.
DeKalen Zacharias Metcalf.
DK. You call me that too. He should have smacked his mama for call.
And it's spelled capital D-E. Capital Kaylin. That's the Kalen. Then he's Zacharias, not Zacharias.
So why did he call DKZ?
The DZ is, I don't know, man.
He's nuts. But I just thought that's childish.
All right.
I'm trying to get problems. All I say is, why did you walk over there, man? People yell stuff out the stands all the time. If he would have said the N-word And if he would have said, your mom is a C from that far away, somebody around there would have got up and said something. I believe he called him his government name, and dude has a problem with it. I'm just speculating.
Especially if there's a history with the fans. You said that. If there's a history with the fans.
They keep talking about how he had a number 4 jersey with him. I don't know what fans do that all the time. That's normally a good thing, but he had something with him. He said something. He walked over there. And when he bent over, I could see him saying some slick shit like that. And there, nobody can hear you. But there's no way we haven't had a fan come forward and say anything and say, I heard him say anything. Either way, right? People did hear the government name, right? They said that.
They've corroborated that part of the story.
No one has corroborated the racial slurs. If he said it when DJ had his ass over there by the bench, somebody would have heard that. So you're telling me someone calls you your government name and you walk over and get in their face? That's a problem between you and you, right?
Do you think that
if I were to call you by your government name right now, are you going to get off the show? Right? We both know you don't go by your government name. So what?
I know this was going to come back to me. I knew when I
don't like the way that you try to vilify the NFL in this case. I think they did what they had to do. You can't allow your players to slap the fans. Well, is that hard to understand? We can't have that. We can't have that.
My man Lionel, one of our live
abuse the fans
viewers, says he viewed the video and it was supposedly captured from a section over that did not include the N-word. But Lionel does acknowledge that the audio could have been doctored. But
DJ has to claim that. I would claim it too. I wouldn't let you know publicly that the government name, calling me my government name,
gets me that upset.
That upset because every DB in America is going to put the tape of your government name on their forehead.
On their forehead. Yeah. He will hear it a lot more often. I will say this, and then we can move on. My issue is not that they punished DK Metcalf. My issue is that they punished DK Metcalf more sternly than they did Jamar Chase. Yeah. And Jamar Chase spitting on another human being. So by doing so, you're either saying spit is less vile than punch, or you're saying the fan is more valuable to the NFL than one of its own players. And I think that the latter of that, if you're making that statement, sucks. It sucks for the players that have for generations played without guaranteed contracts. It sucks for the players that on the backs of those players, said NFL has built this multi-billion-dollar conglomerate. It sucks for the players that when you watch the proliferation of football such that it can take over Christmas, and yet you are faced with this reality that the powers that be see you as less valuable than the fans. That part is what irks me. Not that DK Metcalf has been punished, but that DK Metcalf's punishment, when contrasted with Jamar Chase's punishment, suggests something very, very, very powerful. And the NFL, I think, sends the wrong message. You get last word on it, man.
Well, okay, so what would you be satisfied if the NFL pulled Jalen Ramsey aside and said that you get your one target and we're not gonna throw the flag? Let you come across them in all.
No, man, I don't want to be a. They don't got to be Vikings.
That's better because what's his name doesn't get any of that money. Like if you were to get some of the money, then that would make sense. Like if Ramsey got a little bit of the bread, he doesn't get the bread. So charity gets the money, so he gets nothing. But if you say, all right, look here, man, one time.
Maybe.
Try not to. Don't drop your head.
One game.
But we're gonna let you smack him one good time. No flags.
They should have gave DK
and the rest all have to go no flag too, so they can tell it was out there.
They should have gave DK Metcalf one game.
What?